going to be trying a roast today in the halogen oven. I haven't done a roast before, so I'm really excited to see how it's going to turn out in here. And what I have here is a pre-marinated roast that I bought, and it's a garlic and herb, and I'm going to go ahead and just use my meat tenderizer. So just put a few little holes in there. This has all these blades, and what it does is it just sort of creates a lot of channels in the meat for the tenderizer to additionally get into there. So I've let it sit on one side, and I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and let all the juices get into the other side. Okay, so while the meat's sitting aside and getting a little bit more to room temperature, I'm going to go ahead and get my potatoes ready. Now these are actually just some russet potatoes that I've went ahead and sliced into these wedges. And what I'm going to do is put a little bit of olive oil onto them. And I'm also going to put a little bit of salt. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stir those around and kind of give them a little bit of a toss. And then these are going to go right into the bottom of the halogen oven. Okay, so those are ready to go. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and put the potatoes around the perimeter here of my halogen oven, and then I've put a small roasting rack inside. And you can actually have just put the roast straight in here, but I want the juices and stuff to stay in the foil to help it keep moist while the potatoes roast around it. So I've gone ahead and wrapped my roast in foil, and I'm just going to set it into that roasting rack and go ahead and get this started. And I'm going to start this at about 350 for about 35 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to check it. So let's go ahead and get the lid on. Plug it in. And 350 and about 35 minutes. And I'm going to actually periodically kind of come back and keep an eye on that and make sure that my potatoes are cooking well. So wish us luck. Let's see how this does. So I'm letting the meat rest before I cut into it, and I took out the roasting rack. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crisp up these potatoes a little bit. They're just about done. And I added another 15 minutes to that roast. So really these potatoes have been going about 45 minutes. And so is the roast. So I'm going to sprinkle them here with a little bit of seasoned salt, or excuse me, seasoned all, just to give it a little flavor here. Go ahead and stir this around a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on it and give this maybe another 10 minutes on the potatoes. And in that time, we should be able to check our roast. Oh, the potatoes are done, and they're really crispy looking. So when we added that extra time, the potatoes probably, I'd say in the future, I'd do it for about an hour. I think that's what they're going to need to get these wedges cooked and soft and crispy. So let's get those out of here, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to check on the meat. So here's our roast, and it's rested about maybe 12 minutes or so. We're going to go ahead and, ooh, it's nice and tender. Looks done. Let's give it a couple of slices here. Oh, cuts like butter, which means it was well marinated, and I can see here that it's cooked well through. So we're going to go ahead and have ourselves a little taste. What do you think? Oh, that's really good. So this roast came out really well in the halogen oven. It took about 45 minutes, but you can see it's pretty much medium here. If my meat thermometer had been working properly, I'm going to say probably the 35 to 40 minutes would have been good for how I like it. Potatoes took about an hour or so, so I think in future I would put the potatoes down, put the roasting rack in, and then go ahead and start the potatoes, and maybe about 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes in, maybe start adding add the meat to the roasting rack. So yeah, it was really good. So I think this was a success. So I'm going to go ahead and plate this up and have some dinner. So here we have it, the sirloin roast, the roasted potatoes. And I have a little bit of salad with some guacamole ranch dressing there, which I'm also going to use as a dip. So once again, that halogen oven outdoes itself. It's just a fabulous little tool, and I highly recommend it.